Being among others is a state humans have been in since the dawn of civilization. Interactions and forming relationships have been the bedrock of modern society, helping us grow and evolve from small, isolated hunter-gatherers to large, globalized countries. Now, the three short stories, Everybody Has a Heartache, a Blues by Joy Harjo, Living Like Weasels by Annie Dillard, and Blood Brother by Sarah Smarsh all offer a tiny window into the lives and experiences people can have when being among others. Although the three stories all seem wildly different and with no real meaning to them, they are all connected through one simple point. Being among others means that we are all connected one way or another. The story Everybody Has a Heartache brings us all to a familiar situation. Your flight is canceled due to circumstances out of your control and your trip's plans fall through. Frustration fills every metaphorical inch of your body as you scramble to improvise a backup plan. But while you are in your own head about what you're going to do next, you then bump into a gatekeeper. The second stanza delivers a little preview of the overarching metaphor of the story by detailing a relatively friendly and personable conversation with said gatekeeper. Joy Harjo describes being jokingly teased around with by this gatekeeper, making her crack a smile and in turn converting her frustration into relief. He then, of course, tries to use this charm to sell her new tickets so that she does not have to suffer the consequences of her canceled flight, an opportunity she would have never gotten if she had not ran into this gatekeeper. I am then transported to another point of view, this one of a man silently enjoying his music while innocently dreaming of his own trip to Africa. Living among others means that much more than just hyperfixating on your own personal problems, but also opening your eyes to become more aware of the problems around you. Now, in Living Like Weasels, I was brought into a much different scenario than the other two texts. I was forced to read and understand the point of view of this weasel enthusiast, a person who seems to have a very personal connection with the animal. Starting off with a detailed description of the killing capabilities of a weasel. I was shocked to see the immense amount of grotesque detail the author went into when describing just how deadly their seemingly favorite animal can be. Moving on, I soon started to appreciate the shift in tone and content into one describing an oasis in the middle of a highway-polluted suburbia, with the unfortunate underlying purpose to describe a natural habitat in danger. Soon my trance was broken by the author abruptly switching the topic of the weasel again. This time, they've caught him, quickly locking eyes with him and having a sort of staring contest. Unfortunately, this time he also ran away, never to be seen again, much to the dismay of the author, who then spends the next three paragraphs breaking down the interaction over and over in their head, wondering what they could have done to prevent that from happening. Reading this, I, as well as you, fellow listener, I imagine, was wondering what in the world did that have to do with anything. That was until it finally clicked. We are nature, and nature is us. All around us is a world of natural beauty that we are connected to in one way or another, whether that be by the things we consume or the niche interests and specific types of wildlife we develop. Living among others extends out beyond humans into nature itself. We are all connected societally with other people, and thus we are all connected naturally with Mother Earth too. Similarly to Everybody Has a Heartache, the story of Blood Brother has a much more, shall we say, human-centered approach to the grand question of what it is like to live among others. As I read, I am brought to the attention of a man the author, Sarah Smarsh, only refers to as brother. This, in my opinion, is a tool used to try and immerse the reader at the very real situation of being an impoverished young person. This brother character is one that has fallen on some unfortunate hard times and has decided, whether under his own volition or not we will find out soon enough, to donate his plasma for a small amount of cash twice a week. Now, the story is not just about the process of plasma donation, but is more of one against corporate coercion and exploitation. It is an age-old story of the poor and less fortunate falling under desperate times and unfortunately selling themselves out to exploitative powers, which in this case is the pharmaceutical industry. With this last text, it finally brings the third and final piece to the puzzle of what living among others actually means. It helps explain and puts into perspective that living among others in society means much more than keeping to yourself. It is our responsibility as able-bodied people in society to try our best to help those in need so people like my brother don't have to get in desperate enough situations where they are forced to feel the need to hurt their body for money. The question of what it means to live among others, a tale told in 3 texts, is one vague enough to garner any sort of response from just keep your head down and do your own thing to involve yourself in every situation imaginable. But to me, it means something very simple. To live among others is to feel, think, express, and experience life to its fullest extent by being aware of the people around you, the environment that you're in, and what you can do to better the environment of others.